Anybody familiar with the term cliffed out? You're hiking along and you're cliffed out. Well, it's kind of like here. That's 500 feet down. I guess I can't go that way because what kind of maps did I have? Google Maps from a hotel printer. Pretty crappy. Anyways, so we're hiking around. 1 o'clock comes and we hear a helicopter. Ooh, my buddy called the troops, called the dogs. Well, we were off the trail, couldn't see the helicopter, but I had my trusty signal flare. Ooh, I'm gonna signal the helicopter. So I'm looking, I'm waiting, it's coming toward me, pointed to the sky, pull the ripcord, dud. I'm like, are you effing kidding me? I got no maps, I'm sliding down a mountain, we spent a night in a snow cave, my flare doesn't work, the helicopter goes away. Oh my God, like what is going on? Now, what we didn't realize that starting at midnight the night before, my buddy's girlfriend, who they talk every 2 hours because they're just dating, somehow goes ballistic, starts calling search and rescue, police, hospitals, rangers, everybody on the planet, gets connected with my wife somehow, they never met before, and now my wife and my 3 teenagers at the time think daddy's not coming home and they're looking for a corpse. I don't know this because we can't communicate because I don't have my spot, wherever that was. I don't have a satellite phone, but we're still continuing on. So I go to my buddy, I say, look, I love you like a brother, but I really don't want to spend another night on this mountain. He kind of nodded and he agreed. So I said, look, there's still trees around. We're going to build a big-ass fire. We're going to collect these pine branches. And if by chance a helicopter comes, we're going to build the biggest smoke fire you've ever seen on this earth, and hopefully they see it. So lo and behold, a couple hours later, another helicopter comes. Woo-hoo. Build the fire. Now this helicopter is hovering. They lower a guy down on a winch. This is no ordinary dude. He's got firearms like military. He's got rock climbing equipment on. He's got first aid. He comes over. He goes, are you guys okay? Yeah, I guess we're okay. Yeah, we're here. Heart's still pounding. He goes, you want a lift? I was like, yeah, I'll take a lift. So now, this is no ordinary lift because this is military-grade helicopter, means no doors. So it's hovering. They lower this steel cable down. I get a harness on. I got a carabiner, but it's a special carabiner with a 360-degree swivel. So what do you think happens with a helicopter here and I'm going up with a 360-degree swivel? Spinning. I don't do good on spinning roller coasters. Up and down is okay, but spinning, bad news. Now, on top of that, pretend this microphone is a tree. The helicopter is here, I'm over here, and the wind is blowing me towards a tree. That could be really, really bad if I get caught up in this tree. Anyways, luckily, pilot does some good things, gets me around the tree. Now I'm in the helicopter. But again, this is not an ordinary helicopter because no walls, no doors, and all we have is a nylon sling with a carabiner, because as soon as you get in a helicopter, you got to click in, because if it goes like this, you don't want to go out the window or out the door. So I get in, my buddy gets in, the guy gets in. We're flying over this stuff, and we're looking, we're like, wow, that was some pretty gnarly stuff we were doing. We agreed. So now I could have strangled my buddy, because what does he do? I don't have my phone anymore. He pulls out his Kmart, if you remember the 110 disposable, clicker cameras. He pulls it out and he goes to the pilot. He goes, hey, pilot, can you turn around and smile? I want to take a picture. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? We just got rescued off the side of this mountain. We're not, all this stuff. So anyways, so we get down, safe and sound. We get in the parking lot. And now the guy who rescued us grabs our nylon slings like dog leashes. And he says, come here, got to talk to somebody. Who do you think the somebody is? Police. Oh, we just got rescued off a mountain. We spent it in a snow cave, but now we got to talk to the police. Almost as much fun as talking to the customs agents trying to get here tonight. But that's the story before the story. Anyways, so we start talking to the police. I'm thinking, okay, here's my credit card, whatever. I'm just happy to be off that mountain. Well, we start telling the story. They're like, yeah, you're on the west side. You got cliffed out, blah, blah, blah. And they go, we heard from your wife and your girlfriend that you guys had some outdoor skills, you had reasonable equipment, and it's not the first time you've done, one of these adventures before. We weren't going to get nervous until the second night that you're out there. It's like, ooh. But they were really, really persistent, so we came within that 24-hour limit. So I looked them straight in the eyes, and I said, thank you very much. What do I owe you? Pretty logical question. So I'll remember this phrase till the day I die. He goes, you owe us nothing. You did everything by the book. I wasn't really sure how to take that, but from an outdoor perspective, who's heard the story? I forget I think it's called 57 Hours, where the guy goes hiking and a rock falls on his arm and he can't get out and he's got to take his pocket knife and he take off his arm. 127. Thank you. So, what was the big mistake in that particular adventure? He was solo and he didn't tell anybody where he was going. So the police said, oh, you told some folks where you were going, when you'd be back. They started calling us. We found the note on the dash of your car telling us what trail you were on. He said, we narrowed our search within probably 10 square miles and it took us a few hours. That's what we're here for, right? It's the knuckleheads that are the tourists that got flip-flops and tank tops that they shouldn't be in the outdoors. Those are the folks that we find and try and teach a lesson to. Okay, so made it home, not home, but we got off the mountain. So now I have no idea that my wife and my buddy's girlfriend have been communicating hysterically. Like my 7-year-old daughter thought her dad was never coming home. She locks herself in the closet. She starts going through old pictures. My other daughter is writing me notes. I don't know any of this is going on. So I get into cell phone reception, call my wife, and I'm ready to tell her, yeah, we were delayed. Sorry I didn't call you last night. I could tell instantly by the tone of her voice when she said hello. I'm like, oh, what's the matter? Let me tell you what's the matter, right? And she had every right? I put them through a lot of stress. So the best part of this story, hopefully I entertained you a little, maybe taught you a few lessons, but the best part of the story is that I can tell it today. Because sliding down a mountain, uncontrolled, 200 meters, 60 kilometers per hour, that's the real deal, right? That could have ended a lot differently. Now, like I was saying before, summit fever, because we were so focused on getting to the top, making a loop, we ignored logical things around us. And I think that can relate to a lot of things in life, right? Like if you're uber into just one thing in your life, I would argue that could be disastrous, right? You've got to be multidimensional, whether it's with your family, whether it's work and personal. You've got to be multidimensional. I think that's a lot of where summit fever comes in. And in closing, what really touched me is my middle daughter wrote me a note that I still have. I should have brought it. That said, Daddy, you've taught us a lot of life lessons, how to reach for the stars, always achieve your goals. You like to climb mountains. She goes, the next mountain you climb, could you just play Mario Brothers and pretend you're climbing? Because you scared the hell out of me. All right.